Hello everyone, welcome back. This is season 12. Again, we're going to do the whole season in one video. Hopefully it takes less than 2 hours, but it is what it is, I guess. So I already went in and offered a contract to Derek Wise just because I didn't want to forget who it was that was on our team. And he didn't have one offered to him. So I offered him about 10 million over 7 years. I forget what that broke down into. It was like I think it was 850,000 a year with a $500,000 bonus a year. So yeah. Um, Even with that, we still have $20 million cap room available. Let me see if that includes the rookie reserve. Yeah. Okay. So that does include the rookie reserve. We actually have 40 million available. 17.7 of that's going to the rookie reserve. So we have $20 million to play with. Now, we don't really need much. And I don't want to waste that because I like having cap room so that we can keep our players. But let's take a look at the positions that we can improve upon. So we have Austin here. He's an 84 overall. He's only normal development though, but he's 26. Doesn't look like we're going to get anyone worth spending the money on. Wide receiver, we still have some pretty solid wide receivers, even though one of them is starting to regress, and the other one's going to be regressing soon. Tight end we're good at. Left tackle, remember I made Hayden the starter last year. It looks like he does have a star potential. So we're good there. Good at left guard. Center, we still have another year or so before he starts declining, and there's not really anyone here worth grabbing anyway. Same thing for right guard. Now right tackle, I think it is time to start looking at getting better at. Carl didn't develop last year, and Brackett is progressively getting worse. So, but I think that's something we're going to have to pick up in the draft. Russell's doing pretty well, progressing into a decent player for us, and I just signed him to a long-term contract, so we're good at left end. Defensive tackle, Craver's probably going to take over for McKenzie soon. We also had that rookie I drafted last year, so I'm going to hold off on spending money there. We have a rookie at right end, or a guy that was a rookie at right end. Left outer linebacker we're still good at. Doing okay at middle linebacker. Now, right outer linebacker is the position that was probably the weakest for us last year. And it is definitely the weakest for us this year. This guy has superstar potential, and he's an 80 overall. Fits our scheme. He's only 26. Does he really only want about $5 million a year? Okay, so 87 speed. His tackle's a little low. Finesse moves are good, so he's going to be a good pass rusher. Zone coverage is really low, though, so we'll absolutely have to work on his zone coverage and tackling a little bit. I actually kind of want to take a shot at getting him. Okay, so he's going to be good for... probably be solid for 6 years. So do I want to offer him a 5 or 6 year contract? Let's go ahead and give him a 6 year contract. That'll put him at 32 when his contract is up. Yeah. Alright. Salary wise, he's going to be worth, and actually I think he's worth more than $5 million a year, which is what he's asking for now. So I'm willing to give him 5.5 a year. That's more than what he's asking for, more years than what he's asking for. What does that put us on the board here? Yeah, that puts us at number 1. I mean, that's a cheap linebacker for how good he is going to be. There's nothing here we can grab other than Wise that would really improve us. So yeah, I think that's the only free agency moves I'm going to make. Really, it's the only moves I need to make. So yeah. So I'm offering a contract to 2 players. And then we'll get the rest in the draft. Okay, so we got both of them. That's, Wise not so much, but Perkins is really going to help our defense out. That puts us at 87 overall across the board as a team. So it should be a good year. Now let's look at, I'll do this view here. Look at what I actually need for this year. Oops. Okay, so our linebackers are either superstars or X factors. Got a developing strong safety that is pretty decent already. Veteran free safety, he's probably going to start regressing soon. Charleston and Oliver will be. Oh, Oliver's young. He's in his rookie contract still, so he's going to be pretty good for us for a long time. Charleston, we're still going to be able to get quite a few years out of. He's a rookie. He's young. I think this is going to be his second year. Yeah, I think it's the second year of his prime contract, I'll call it. Baptista ended up being a star as well, not superstar. Actually, I think it was the lineman that was going to be. Yeah, maybe not. So both of them ended up being stars, the left tackle and the defensive tackle. For some reason, I thought I drafted another guy that would have had high potential. Now, Baptista is already a 76, so he's catching up to Craver pretty quick. Poor Craver's been moved around this entire defensive line because he's just been not good enough to be the starter, but he's too good to just throw into a backup role. So I mean, he is in a backup role right now, but he's too good to just bury in the depth chart. So I mean, depending on how Baptista improves, Craver might just have to be traded. All right, so offense. I might draft a halfback. We'll see. I'm okay on receiver. Our 4th receiver right now is a 79 overall. 5th receiver, Levi Hunter, he actually went down 2 overall. He was a 77. But still, for your 5th receiver, that's still pretty darn good. Kitchens is eventually going to regress to be like a 2nd or 3rd receiver, but I think we have enough pieces to fill in for him. Excuse me. As he regresses, that we won't have to really worry about replacing him. I don't care about replacing a 71 overall fullback. He's pretty good. Tyler Schwartz is at a 99. Can't get much better than that. Of course, 2 of that overall is morale boost, but he'll probably get to 99 either this year or next year. Probably this year, though. So that just leaves offensive line, with right tackle being the biggest concern, but pretty much center, right guard, right tackle. Wynn is getting old, but he's still pretty good. So, yeah. In fact, I think I might have too many draft picks for this draft because I don't even have slots for people. So, we'll see what we can get and then go from there. Okay, so we have the 13th, 14th, 16th, and the 29th. Nothing high. Solid on defense. Of course, we need the line on offense. Let's just take a look here and see if there's anyone worth trading up for. Now, free safety might be someone worth looking into, especially this guy. But then moving him over to moving this guy to free safety. Yeah. This is kind of a stronger wide receiver, but he's a little on the slower end. This guy has the height and strength to be a tight end. Go ahead and take a look at him. I doubt he's going to be available later. This is the strongest wide receiver. He's actually pretty fast too. Has a little bit of height and jumping ability. Oh, that's broad jump. I think broad jump is distance. I'm not really sure what the point of measuring jumping distance is for a player. I guess maybe for a dive play, the vert jump would be the main concern. But I am interested in this guy. So he can definitely catch and release. Strong. Yeah, throw him on the list. We'll take a look at him later. This guy looks like he can be solid skill-wise, but he's a little on the slow end. Okay, this guy has speed, jumping ability, height, and he's agile and quick. He's definitely worth taking a look at. Alright. An agile lineman. Strongest left guard in the draft. Probably one of the strongest linemen. This right here is probably going to be my top concern, or top pick. Drafting him to be either center or right guard. Maybe right tackle, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we have some options here. This guy has a B- catching. I really need a defensive back that can catch the ball, get those interceptions. Some really good defensive backs in this draft, actually. .6 grade? Wow. He's going to be a good left outer linebacker. I think I might sim pick by pick just to see where some of these guys go and how good they are. This is a really strong draft, at least at the top anyway. I almost don't want to scout anybody else because I kind of already know who I want, and now I'm thinking about trading up to maybe get them. Okay, so let's scout some linemen if we haven't already scouted all of them. In fact, I probably have because we already scouted almost every single scheme fit. Yeah. I think I'm going to skip out on scouting the rest of this offseason because, well, hold on, halfback maybe? Just scout all of them. What about a wide receiver that could be a halfback? Because we don't have a receiving back right now. Now we do have an elusive back that can receive, but not a true bona fide receiving back. The slot guy would actually be pretty good for it. Oh yeah, do we have the fastest wide receiver scouted? Kind of wish there was an easier way to go through all this to see their combine stats. 4.34 is the second fastest, and he's the second quickest. Let's just take a look at him. Oops. I'm going to have to come back next week. All right, so Daniel Baldwin, checking him out next week. Man, he'll be good. He'll be darn good. I don't know why, but I kind of want. Oh yeah, we're looking for the fastest speed. I kind of want a little guy to be a receiving back. Um, I'm also kind of interested in having whoever's the fastest wide receiver be a receiving back. Get that speed threat out of the backfield. Having to go pretty low to find him. I don't know. Maybe the fastest wide receiver, someone who might go. Oh, here you go. I mean, he might still go undrafted, but we almost had to go into the undrafted to find him. Fastest wide receiver is a short guy. His other combine skills are pretty bad, though. But maybe if he's available in 6th or 7th round, might take a look at him. All right, how about tallest wide receiver? Who's the tallest wide receiver? Usually it's about 6'4", 6'5". And I did see a 6'4" guy all the way at the bottom there. Looks like this guy's one of the tallest. That might actually be good. Let's look at that 6'4" guy down here. Oh, there's a couple 6'4" guys. Both of them are undrafted, or should be undrafted, so should he. Tight end, got a 6'5" guy here. 6'6". How's his combine stats? So about average speed for a tight end. He's quick, a little on the stronger side. A decent tight end probably. Not that I'm going to pick him, but just curious. There's another 6'6" guy. Alright, I wasted enough points. Let's go ahead and go to the draft. Because don't need any more free agents and don't really need to scout anybody else. I probably could have just clicked sim draft. I'm always afraid I'm going to miss something though. Like, it's going to pop something up and then I'll miss it. And then it'll, like, because it has to sim, it has to make the decision, it'll always choose the opposite thing that I want.
Are now on the clock.
Okay, now that we're in the draft, this is the guy I want the most. I'm going to leave him as the guy I want the second most because I wouldn't mind getting a free safety that could fill in. This guy here. There we go. We're going to do this. I do want this guy as a cornerback. This guy here I would draft as a free safety. So Donovan and Rasheem I'd be interested in as a free safety. Dwayne as someone on that right side of the line. This guy as a true cornerback. And then this guy just because he's going to be a darn good wide receiver, I think. Wait, that's not the guy. Why did I... Oh, tight end. Yeah, get out of here. Where did that... Was it Baldwin? It was Baldwin. Okay, so Baldwin. Hey, we got the hold to reorder bug. I might look at Sammy to be that receiving back there in the later rounds. And again, this guy, he's slow though. I guess for a halfback that's not slow, but I would like some with a little more speed. Still got the hold reorder bug. That's fun. There. Okay. Should we get that left guard with the higher up pick? Donovan probably won't be there unless I trade up to like 4th or 5th. I don't think I have enough resources to trade up there, so let's go ahead and sim to 5th and see who's available.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock.
So there's a 75 overall, went second. That's really not surprising that he went that high. He was pretty good.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock.
We'll still go to the 5th pick.
The Packers are now on the clock.
Okay. I don't want to go to draft board because I don't want that stupid bug popping up. So we still have the cornerback available and our left guard and someone who could be a free safety. And the wide receiver. Wide receiver I probably don't have to worry about until later rounds if I even want him. Now the question is, will the left guard here be available? 13th pick. I'm going to say probably not. I don't even trust him to be available at the 10th pick. So why don't we try to package the 13th and the 29th pick, try to come up to the 5th with Green Bay here. I'm not trading any players to move up, except for maybe what we're actually going to be drafting for. We'll see if this at least gets us at the discussion table here. Ooh, that's really close. I'm going to be stingy. Oh, I don't have... I guess I can't afford to be stingy. 7th.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a trade.
Alright, so we traded up from 13 to come get our left guard.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
And it ended up being a 75 overall, but only normal development trait. So with some time, he'll probably get to about 78 to 80. Probably wasn't worth trading up for, but that's fine.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Our next pick is the 14th.
On the clock. The
They went the wide receiver that we were looking at. And there went cornerback. Dang it. So we still have the guy that we can move to free safety. Of course, there's other talent. Why don't I just go to scout it? There we go. Just a good middle linebacker here. Devin Grubbs is still available, even though I said I'd consider drafting him as a tight end, but probably not that high. Rhett would be really good to grab. Daryl Hodge, was Daryl Hodge the guy I was looking at, or was it that Byron guy? Because this guy has the catching as well. Actually, really good stats. But I don't want to trade up to get him, but I feel like we're going to lose out on him if we wait. And it's the Raiders too, dang it. Let's see what the Raiders want. Okay, they want a left tackle. You know what? Whoops. Wrong button. I have a left tackle that I... Oh, he's going to be so expensive to let go of. Whatever. Alright, how close does this get us? I'm sure not at all, but yeah. Oh, they... no interest. Center, I could trade them as center because I drafted that guy. It would be Chris Butler I'm giving up. It's getting old though, so how much is it going to cost to... Oh yeah, you're fine. Okay, that gets us close. What draft picks? Trying to get a 2 from next year from him. Close.
How come nobody's at the podium? That's because both teams are right now working on a trade.
To make sacrifices sometimes, I guess. Now let's just hope that it was worth it. It's Daryl Hodge, right? So he's quick, can jump high, he's tall, agile, fast, and good catching, good coverage skills. So
the Cowboys are now on the clock.
76 overall, normal development. Darn that normal development. Let's hope that middle linebacker is available.
Are now on the clock. The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Okay, so the middle linebacker is available. So there's probably a few others, and now we're down to just this first round pick, a late second, late third, they're practically third and fourth round picks. So Miguel Elias, I think, is going to be really good. Devin Grubbs is as well, but actually I'll keep him on my draft board, but I'm not going to draft him right now. Brett Anderson, he's going to be pretty darn good too. Don't need a wide receiver as much as I'm going to need a middle linebacker though. This guy here would make a good free safety as well. So I have 3 guys to choose from, and just 1 pick to get them unless I trade up, but I'm not going to do that. And really, I'm thinking I have to take Miguel. Yeah, let's take him.
The Browns are now on the clock.
Okay, so 77 overall, number 2 talent in the draft, hidden development trait. So he'll at least be a star. So yeah, that's a good pick.
The Raiders are now on the clock.
Later here, see if any of those guys.
The Steelers are now on
there
the
goes
clock.
Grubbs. He was a 75
the Rams
overall.
Are now on the clock.
Who were the other guys that I was looking at? Brett Anderson, Luke White, Daniel Baldwin.
The Bills are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Giants
they went Brett Anderson. Darn it. I was actually at 25 going to look at possibly trading up. Alright, so what's still available for us? Scouted. So Daniel Baldwin is still available, but took the other 2 I was looking at. So he's a first round talent, projected to be one of the top second round picks. I don't really need to trade up for him at all though, because I have 5 really good wide receivers. Darn it. By the time we get to our next pick, it's going to be so late. Alright, let's get to the 16th pick of the second round.
The Jets are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock.
One of the receivers.
Jaguars are now on
I wish there was a button to
the
send to a
Buccaneers
specific pick.
The Broncos are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock.
Alright, is there anybody available that would be worth going up and getting? So we got Chad Sullivan. Chad Sullivan's about the only one worth going up and getting. And that'd be someone I'd draft to be a running back. In fact, those would be really good receiving back skills. It's a little on the slow end though. So let's go to the 20th pick.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
And there he went. Okay, I'm just going to go to my next pick.
The
now.
Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now
I might trade this one away. Because there's not really anyone I want at this pick. These are all guys I could probably get with my next pick. Yep, let's trade this one away. Should at least be able to get a 2 next year. Stingy. There we go. The Browns are offering us a 2.
Hold on now. This pick is trading teams.
Alright, let's go to our next pick.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Okay, so this is strong safety. He's really slow though. It's more of a linebacker speed. Not somebody I want in my secondary. That's my 3rd round talents. So we have a 2 there, 2 here. Oh, we never finished scouting him. He wasn't really worth scouting anyway. Look at that. A power back. We don't really have a power back now that Nick Chubb is gone. First round talent guy. There's another first round talent. And we have that guy who could be a receiving back. And there was that guy for power back. I think there was this guy. Ooh. That guy for halfback. So I can, let's see. Might be able to trade for a 4th. see if I can trade my third round pick for a high third or a high fourth and high fifth, or maybe 2 fourths. Which means we're gonna have to see what people have. Here are the Bills. I don't want to trade away that 6th pick though. Let's dip it in next year's draft. You can go ahead and have a 4th from next year's draft. Okay. Go ahead and have a 4 and a 6 from next year's draft. Alright. Never mind on that. How bad do you want a halfback? I feel like I'm almost giving up too much for this. There we go. I still have my 3rd round pick though, huh? Well, you know what? I have my 4th round pick, so let's go ahead and just use this to draft a replacement for Levi Hunter, or may pick up one of those guys. I don't think there was a wide receiver. No, not until Sammy Jackson later on. Alright, well then, go ahead and get Kerry Newton.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
Man, I am really bad at judging running backs, I guess. I thought it would have been higher than a 69. Dang.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Power back. Might pick him up later. Or I might not. I don't need the defensive tackles, but they're both 1st round talent, so I might as well take them.
The Chiefs
I can always
are
trade them
now
away
on the
later,
clock.
I guess, if I don't need them. He has a superstar, or at least a star potential.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock.
He also has a hidden depth trait. Whoa, he's got some swagger, okay. And he was a 73. Alright, and with
The
this
Oklahoma
pick,
City
let's hope
Nighthawks
that
are now on the clock.
one guy is still available. Oh, are you kidding me? He's not. Every single wide receiver I wanted to get got picked this draft. Okay then, I'm just going to trade this pick away. 5th, another 5th. Anybody want to give a 4th? No, alright, so 141, 137, 135. So I got a 135, 137, and 138. So Saints, Dolphins, Falcons. I'm going to go with the Dolphins pick.
Well, wait, looks like both war rooms are feverishly back on the phones. I think that means a trade is coming.
Well, didn't really get everything I wanted, but I did get some high quality defensive tackles. And I got a good middle linebacker. I don't know what I'm going to do with them all because we uh, already have two. Well, the middle linebacker will be to use. The defensive tackles, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with all the defensive tackles that I have. We did get a good left guard, good cornerback. So, I mean, other than Newton, I had a really good draft. Let's go in here and see what we can do with people. Newton has to go to center. Or not Newton. Shepard has to go to center. Okay. Get rid of this guy. Banks. I'm not going to pay you $3 million to be a backup. I can go get a backup elsewhere. I feel bad cutting someone that spent their entire career with us. But, yeah, there's literally no reason to keep him on the roster for $3 million. Alright, now the true dilemma. What do we do with this? Okay, so you guys are definitely have the speed for defensive tackle. You do have the strength for it though too. I almost feel like I need to switch to 4-3 so I can use all my defensive tackles, but at the same time, what am I going to do with my middle linebackers if we do that? Well, you know what? Terrence Smith is getting pretty old. Doesn't have many years left. Dexter Tyler's getting pretty old. Doesn't have many years left either. Well, doesn't have many years left of that he's going to be good. So that's going to give Miguel Elias time to develop. Harding, I'm sorry, you're gone. Okay, so I have the middle linebackers figured out. Now, also, within 2 to 3 years, I'm only going to have one good middle linebacker. So we might be switching back to a 3-4. Or to a 4-3. In fact, I kind of want to switch to a Tampa 2. And with that said, even at a 4-3, I still have 4 defensive tackles that can be around for a while. Poor Craver is going to be on the chopping block because he's just a normal development, I think. Yeah. He's a star, and these guys are at least stars. And Oscar's getting old. So we'll stay 3-4 for now. And actually, you know what? I'm going to put these guys in as backups at defensive end. I still have too many defensive tackles to put in as backups. Oh my, alright, it's going to be interesting. Keeping them though, I'm definitely not getting rid of them. How are we at cornerback? Oh, I forgot to cut all those practice squad guys. Okay, so all of you are gone. Too bad there's not a mass cut feature. Okay. So we have our cornerbacks for years. I mean, Derek Wise and Charleston are still in the prime of their career. They have another 5 years or so before they aren't going to be effective. But we also have Darrell Oliver and Darrell Hodge. So we're golden on cornerbacks. Although I just got an idea for Derek Wise. Maybe I could move him to free safety. Doesn't have the strength for it though, or the tackling. Darn it, that's really not going to work. Well, ladies and gentlemen, aside from a free safety, well, I'm eventually going to need a left outer linebacker too, because he's getting older. We'll be okay at right outer linebacker. For this season, though, our defense is solid. Offensively, I'll need a right guard and right tackle in the next coming drafts. Maybe a better halfback if I can actually ever draft a good one. We're just going to go with 4 wide receivers this year. Alright. I like to do all my cuts in advance. I don't like to wait until the trade deadline and then cut people there. Average still 70, but I'm letting you go. Okay, so I need a backup left guard. Other than that, we're okay. I'm ready to go for the season. There's 59s, 60. Go with the 60. Nice and cheap. Make sure the depth chart is set this time. Oh, not Jensen. Hey. Alright, so Craver is going to get time probably at defensive tackle. We'll throw Cullah here. Dylan Edwards is actually pretty good and young as well. Well, darn it. That plan's not really going to work too well. Over here, I want Baptiste. Darrell Hodge is not going to be returning kicks. Oliver can though. Benji, you are our 3rd wide receiver. But you know what? Because we have we only have 4 wide receivers this year. I don't really want my wide receivers returning kicks. Awesome. Right. Ashmore, here we go. So it looks like Byron Austin's going to be our bell cow this year. He's not a receiving back or a power back, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. This is the first year that we don't have at least a power or receiving back. Alright, I can't put defensive tackles in the rushing end spots. Can put them here though. See, I don't know if it brings on an extra rushing defensive tackle or if it replaces the defensive tackle that's on the field. I don't want to bring Oscar McKenzie out of the off the field if we're only going to have one defensive tackle on. Oh well, I guess they'll just have to develop on the bench, just not be a part of the depth chart, which is crazy because of how good they're going to be. And actually, for preseason, they're going to start. Make sure McKenzie doesn't get hurt. There we go. I'll switch that back around after preseason's over. It's nice to see some of our key future players progressing. I guess Marcus Charleston was hurt. I'm just curious how those defensive tackles are doing, so I'm going to just quickly look at this. Okay, so they're really not doing that great. Not doing that great at all. Now they are really low overall, so can't expect them to be setting the world on fire. But through 3 games, you only have 3 tackles. And this one here only has 2 tackles. Probably not great, especially since our 5th string defensive tackle has 7. Yeah. I wonder if it's ignoring my depth chart. Alright, he's actually... I wanted to get him to 90. Yeah, I might have to spend one more point on his man coverage. Alright, let's go back and fix the defensive tackles. I wonder how many downs those guys got, because it unveils what they are after a certain amount. And they only played 45 downs. Well, he only played 45 downs the entire preseason. He played 91. So, unfortunate. Maybe they can play some special teams. Alright, let's see how we do this season. Week 1. Oh and 1. Nice. Yeah, we definitely have to get his block shedding up there. Maybe get his block shedding to 85 and then start moving on his, or working on his power moves. That way he can be a run stopper and pass rusher. Which actually, if I want him to be, maybe I'll only go to 80 on his block shedding, because if we're going to move to a Tampa 2, we want pass rushing defensive linemen. Okay, we got Rayshawn Wynn as a free agent, D'Angelo Kitchens, Patrick Barnett, Oscar McKenzie. This is going to be an expensive, man. See, the problem is they're all old. He wants $15 million for 1 year. I can't, I mean, I have guys behind him. Sorry, Oscar. Let's see, he wants a little over 10 million a year. Like he wants like 12 million a year. I'm probably gonna trade Oscar McKenzie away so that we can get our other guys developing. Patrick Barnett, I'll keep for the season. I'm not going to re-sign him, but I'll keep him for the season and let him just go to free agency afterwards. That way we can have a good free safety for the playoffs. D'Angelo Kitchens wants almost $20 million a year, and he is regressing so bad. No. Sorry. Rayshawn Wynn wants about $10 million a year for 3 years. I'm going to say no again, but I have a feeling, both of these guys will be able to be signed in free agency, because I don't think, at their age, I don't think many teams are going to be offering contracts to them. Rayshawn Wynn I do want to bring back, but not for 3 years. And there's no way he accepts a 1 year contract. Um, I mean, just to be safe, I'll offer him a 1 year, $12 million contract. Maybe the extra money brings him back. So let's go 11.5. There. I gave him extra money to sign 1 year less, or to sign 2 year less. 2 years less. Yeah, he won't sign anything lower than that. And I'm not gonna like the problem with that is I'm gonna have to pay a signing bonus for 3 years. But if I only get 1 year out of him, I don't get that 2 years worth of money back. So no. So I guess it's not going to be an expensive one. It's going to be a transitioning one. All right. Well, we need to look at linebackers again because if we're going to move to a Tampa 2, we want pass coverage linebackers. And there aren't any. So maybe I could scout and get pass coverage middle linebackers and then move them to outer linebacker. Alternatively, something I've done in past Maddens is I've scouted run support strong safeties and moved the run support strong safeties to outer linebacker to get the pass coverage, or to get those pass coverage players that can still play the run. So that's going to be something I think we do. Also, slot corners would be an option as well, but they're not, slot corners probably won't have the strength to play a linebacker position. Now you know what? I know I'm gonna trade Oscar McKenzie, so I might as well just get it over with. Let's see who needs a defensive tackle the most. So the Browns need 174 overall. Washington needs one. They have a 73 overall. Jaguars. All right, you know what? Browns. Actually, you know what? I'm sitting here thinking I'm going to help the Browns out by sending a defensive tackle their way, but he's old and regressing. So let's look at their football team first. I almost called them the Redskins. Do you want to give me a 1 for him? I could probably get a 1 next year. No, I can't. About 2 2s. No. How about 2 1s? And I give you Carver. Or Craver. Okay, we're close. Close on a deal here. Let me give you a draft pick. Probably take the 3. Okay, so kind of solved my dilemma on defensive tackles by trading away McKenzie and Craver and the 3rd round pick, and I got 2 first round picks back for them. One this coming draft and one the next draft. Craver's a pretty darn good defensive tackle. Young as well, but I just never had a spot for him on the team. And McKenzie, I mean, I love McKenzie. McKenzie's been awesome for us, but at his age, you know, it's just not worth keeping him, sadly. Now, that dropped our defensive overall too. I wonder why our offensive overall dropped. The only person I got rid of was Levi Henry. He was our 5th wide receiver. Huh. Well, now we can get some playing time to these guys. We know Baptista is a star. We don't know what these guys are. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Move these guys up. Yeah, Holloway and Edwards are both pretty decent linemen. The problem is I really want to get McCullough on the field. And he's not going to get there in the defensive tackle spot. Because even if we go 4-3, you know, like for whatever reason we do a 4-3 for a play, it's going to be these two. So Brewer will probably get time throughout the year, just backing up Baptista. So yeah. And then here pretty soon, I guess we'll go Tampa 2. Especially with the aging linebackers. Oh man. Walter Mayweather is going to be a free agent as well. John Tucker. There's a lot of people that's going to be a free agent for us this year. Take a look at the slot safeties or slot cornerbacks, man to man as well. And you know what? I might as well just scout every single cornerback because I can find a place for all of them. Where's his speed? Speed is pretty good as well. So I think I'm going to do this one power rusher, and then from here on out, I'm going to do speed rusher. Because at Tampa 2, you want speed rushers. So from here on out, we're going to develop his speed rushing, and then he'll be a pretty dominant right end. Marion Whitaker, I think I've seen, is going to be a free agent. So we'll definitely need a free safety in the offseason. Minor, you're a blocking tight end. Benji, route runner. Alright, now Jerron Tucker, I am going to have to re-sign Jerron because with losing D'Angelo Kitchens, even if I can get him back in free agency, he's going to be dropping down. So it's going to leave us with Sheriff McCullough and Benji Brennan as our 1-2, which would make Jerron our 3. Sorry, Patrick, you've been awesome for our team, but I'm not giving you that many years. Joey Woods, shouldn't even be on the team. You're just a cheap option. These two I'm definitely re-signing. I'm going to give Walter a 7-year contract. Jerron, I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Now, Marion Whitaker could take over for Patrick Barnett. Wants about $6 million a year. But I feel like we could probably get someone better in the off season. Bracket, I'm not re-signing you. You're a backup. I'm not giving you that kind of money. You're a backup. Good backup, but so actually we should probably trade Monte Holloway and Dylan Edwards this year as well. And Whitaker. Yeah. So at the deadline, I'm going to trade Whitaker, Fisher, or not Fisher, Edwards and Holloway at the trade deadline because they're good pieces, but not someone I'm going to bring back because I can't afford them or I could probably get better. Let's finish scouting the defensive backs here. Really bad year for cornerbacks. Wow, it's a really bad year for cornerbacks. Yeah. Okay. It's going to be interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot. He has a hidden development trait as well. Oh, gotta get the man coverage up. Okay, now we need Russian defensive tackles, so I'm just going to start building these guys up. They should be speed rushers in order for a Tampa 2 to work, but these big boys are power rushers, so we're just going to have to make a Tampa 2 work with power rushers. His zone coverage has to come up quite a bit in order for him to be good in a Tampa 2. Oh, Tyler Schwartz was hurt. Interesting. Just finish scouting these terrible cornerbacks. Okay. Right, and again, Deion Brewer. Now you do have a little bit of speed to you. Not much, but a little bit. I'm going to make you also a power rusher. All right. Walter Mayweather. 7 years. How much? $12 million a year. Awesome. That's gonna be fun to pay over the course of the time that you're here, but you'll progress into a pretty good line left guard. So we got Walter Mayweather for 7 years. Duran wants $6 million a year. Do I want to pay the third wide receiver on the team $6 million a year? Now, granted, within that 7-year contract, he'll probably become the second wide receiver. He's fast. It's about all he has going for him. After 3 years of developing, all he has going for him is that he's fast. I'll give him 5 years. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll just draft a wide receiver then. Maybe with all the terrible cornerbacks, maybe there's actually some good wide receivers in the draft. Alright. Feel like he's fine. Finesse. Let's go ahead and get some power. I would like to get his pass block up there a little bit at some point too. Even if we just get that to 80, I'd be happy. But yeah, should probably get that power blocking up a little bit. How you doing over here, bud? Not great. Let's give him some pass block since he's at left tackle. There's Sean Wynn. Honestly, that 1 point he just got is probably what he lost in the offseason. Alright, we have a bye week 8. Alright, so just looking at this here, we have a bunch of second round talents. Do have a first round talent there. So there are 4 wide receivers with a first round talent. At least that's projected to go in the first 3 rounds. I doubt any of these guys have a first round talent. But if we're going to get rid of Duran, we need to figure out which one of these we want. Also, all of our first round picks are late. Can't really make a decision this early because I don't have combine stats, but I'm going to have to make a decision because we have to make our trades this week. He wants a better salary. Look at your stats. Have you been putting up stats for us that warrant the contract we're giving you? In fact, no. You don't even have a catch this year. You had 3 catches last year, didn't have a catch the year before. Now granted, when you do actually get on the field and catch the ball, you're getting good chunks. It's going to hurt to do, but and it might take me some time to replace him. But I'm gonna go ahead and send Dron on his way. I know I had high hopes for him, but he just never developed, never seen the field. I mean, we only have 4 wide receivers this year, and he still doesn't even have a catch. All right, trade time. Who's hurt? Batista is hurt, and Elias is hurt. And coverage is all right. Zone coverage could use some work. Oh, good. Get to improve Dylan Edwards' overall before we trade him. Really want this guy to be a good blocking fullback, but I don't feel like he's ever on the field to block. Alright, we have some people to trade away. Start with our defensive ends. Holloway and Edwards. Where's the interest at? Anybody interested in both? Colts are. Alright, let's see what we can get from the Colts. You know what? Look at standings real quick. Alright, Packers are 0-7. Patriots, Jaguars, Giants are 1-5. Let's see, NFC North, AFC East, South, AFC East. Alright, so the AFC South is pretty decent, so it's a good chance that the Jaguars stay bad. Same thing with the AFC East, so Jaguars and Patriots. Packers are probably pretty bad. Okay, so all of those teams look like they're in pretty decent divisions, which means they're going to get beat up on this year. So, Packers first. What do the Packers want for their pick? Okay, they need a wide receiver. I just happen to have one of those that are available. And they need a right end. I also have one of those available. They don't want the right end though. What else? Defensive tackle, I don't have one of those available anymore. Cornerback, we're pretty deep at cornerback, but I don't really feel like I could trade away Wise and just take that big cap penalty. Now we have room for the cap penalty. I want to keep Wise though. Are they even interested in him? No. Alright, well how about this? There. And I need to go sign people. Okay. Let's go sign the replacements ahead of time. Maybe that worked out my benefits. Maybe I'll try giving them a second round pick instead. So this is going to be my fourth wide receiver, so we don't really need them to be that good. Any good rookies? Not really. So 67, 68, a few 67s. I'll definitely take someone away from the Raiders. I mean, it's just practice squad guys. It's not like it's really hurting them. But and you know what, Browns? I'm sorry, but I kind of want this guy. All right, left end, right end. Backups. In fact, they're actually technically third string backups because I have the defensive tackle ahead of them. So cheap is key. 64. Oh, you know what? I'll just elevate you from the practice squad. Don't mind rewarding or promoting from within. 63, 64. I already took someone from the Browns, so I'll take someone from the Dolphins this time. Okay, and I was going to trade away a free safety. And was there anything else I was going to trade away that I can recall? Okay, now let's make some trades. Hey, Packers. What a second. Actually, get that one. Second and Duran, year 1. Yeah, I might have to give him that first round pick. Oh, there we go. Nice. Kept my first round pick. Of course, my rookie reserve is going to be high this year, but that's fine. All right. Giants, Patriots, and Panthers, was it? Jaguars. Right? Yeah. You guys don't need anything that I have to give. Patriots. I have a left end. I almost traded him Russell. Alright, how close does this get us? What if... And I don't have a third round, so I don't want to trade that second away. There. Okay. So Edwards and a first round pick for their first round pick. Likely to be top 5. Giants. Yeah, you guys don't need anything that I'm going to trade away. Okay. Let's see. I was going to trade away Whitaker. Holloway. Yeah, okay. Whitaker and Holloway. Anybody interested in both of them? Texans are. When do you guys pick? 22nd. I get this. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. I probably could have got more, but I'm satisfied with that. Okay. I think we are set now, correct? Just go to the depth chart. And this is a good example of why you always draft best available when you can, even if you already have someone at that position, because he's trade bait, right? Now, Baptiste is hurt. I know he's hurt, but I'm just going to throw him up here anyway. Oh yeah. There we go. I know Lice is hurt, but just throw him up here anyway. And actually, you know what? Adams is newer to the team. I don't really care. I mean, I can't say I don't care if he gets hurt, just that it's not going to hurt us as much if he does. There. Who is on our practice squad right now? Anyone good? No, not at all. All right, so I guess our offense went down those two because Tyler Schwartz was hurt, because it's back up to an 87 now. Our defense is still at an 85 because we didn't trade any starters away. So yeah, did we unveil whose defensive tackles is well, also, oh, that guy was just a normal. All right, Brewer still unknown. Cullah still unknown. With Baptiste out, they're actually getting some playing time, so we might uncover their talent. All right, with that said, time to sim to the playoffs. This video feels shorter than yesterday, but I can also still feel it being a little on the long side because of all the roster moves I'm having to make here. I'm not going to bring any of these guys back. Parks, I'll try to re-sign in the off season as a free agent. Okay, we do have picks that late. I'll go back and finish scouting all the defensive backs. That shouldn't take too long. And then I want to hit up the halfbacks as well. Yeah, you're the guy that needs the man-to-man. Iron Austin's starting to turn into a pretty good back. In fact, I think I might start working on his power back. All this elusive stuff is pretty far up there. He's 8th best back in the league, too. We have another injury, and then someone coming back from an injury. Alright, we have all the defensive backs scouted, all the wide receivers scouted. Let's work on running. Wow, that's a lot of elusive backs. Yeah, now the main reason I'm building up this guy's pass coverage is because if we go to a Tampa 2, middle linebacker's big for pass coverage, so I want to get him as good as he can be at pass coverage before that time comes. Six and 4, not having a great season, but that's okay. We're technically in a retool. I'm not going to call it a rebuild, but a retool. Which means we're going to have holes in certain places as we patch it up. I think cornerback should actually be zone as well for Tampa 2. not a big fan of zone coverage in Madden. It just never seems to work. But since we're simulating the games, we don't actually have to worry about how it works on the field. Let me check that real quick. Tampa 2. There we go. Cornerback zone. Yeah, we would need zone cornerbacks for that. It says power rusher left end. I'm not sure why, because you want speed ends, and definitely power rusher defensive tackles would be good. I agree. It used to be speed rusher all the way across, but yeah, we want our guys to be good at zone. I should probably start checking out some linemen too. Let's do that since probably won't be many agile linemen. Ooh, did you see his thing? His trade is almost uncovered. Tyler Schwartz. Let's go strong arm again. I guess he's not going to get to 97 because I didn't do improviser. That's okay. Or I'm not going to get to 99 because I didn't do improviser to upgrade his thing. Oliver, you can go ahead and sit out. There we go. Got all the linemen scouted, and it doesn't look like any of them are going to be too high on my list. You gotta be better in pass protection. It's time to start looking at speed. Yeah, that's right. I said that last time, huh? Ooh, got 2 finesse. Nice. He's gonna be really good. Like it was really hard to fill Myles Garrett's shoes with everything that Myles Garrett did for his whole career, but I think eventually he's going to do it. Alright, is there anything other than the running backs that we need to scout? I mean, maybe tight end? Oh, linebacker, that's right. Well, there weren't any pass coverage linebackers, so yeah. Is this a rookie? No. It's still kind of young though. 24, it's not bad. Alright, now we're got the Chiefs here, and they beat us last time. We both have a playoff spot locked up, but since it tells me we're probably competing for that #1 spot, just check out these field generals here. Yeah, okay, they're not going to have zone coverage, I guess. Alright, so we still have the 1st, 2nd, 12th, 19th, and 28th. Having that 1st and 2nd is going to be nice. Who's up here? Got some good players at the top there. We do have to keep in mind we need defensive backs as well. It's going to be a tough choice. Does this game mean anything? Huh. If we win this game and the Bengals lose, if we win and the Bengals lose, we'd be tied for 1st. Now the one thing that this game does mean is it's a difference between divisional championship or wild card. What we do? We lost. Alright, wild card it is. Manny Russell. Ooh. I can get double XP for him. I mean, this guy... He's not really losing out on any key attributes. Yeah. Get the double XP. It'll mean more in the long run. Alright, Mayweather, how you doing? Okay. Go ahead and keep working on... Well, actually, let's give him some power. Okay. Not bad. Benji. Yeah, you'd be a route runner. Alright, playoff run, here we go. That was a quick playoff run. So yeah, that's going to be it for Season 2 once I finish simulating through everything here. Let me go ahead and progress these guys. Okay, we uncovered him to be a star, so that's good. And I don't care really much about the other guys, so we'll go ahead and just do a quick upgrade. Dexter Tyler got something. What did he get? Nice. Manny Russell's back. I gotta resign my coach. $7 million a year over 5 years. You guys are still good for a few more years. I'm just gonna cut those practice squad guys now. I guess that guy wasn't a practice squad guy, but that's whatever. He's not gonna be on the team long term. Alright, so going into next year, these are the 3 wide receivers we have. D'Angelo Kitchens will probably be dropping below Sheriff McCollum. Heck's getting pretty old. He might not even come back. Oh, let's look at stats too. We didn't look at season stats. Actually, all of our wide receivers are getting old. Might have to rebuild that entire room soon. Jensen, I'm finally cutting you since you don't have a penalty. Thank you for your service, but it's time for you to go. You won't be around. You're just a one-year guy. And Brackett is actually... I already told him he's not coming back, so let's go ahead and just... Oh, I can't cut him because of roster size. Oh well. Alright, we got a coach. Oh, stats. You guys gotta say something. Alright, so Tyler Schwartz was 3rd in the league for passing yards. He got back up to 4,400 this year. Still an average year otherwise, though. Rushing the ball, Byron Austin had a 1,000-yard rushing season. Only had 6 touchdowns, though. In fact, Al Elam had 10 touchdowns. I am not sure why he was able to get 10 touchdowns, but you know, maybe I actually can evaluate talent at halfback, and they just say they have a low overall. Man, 10 touchdowns. Nick Chubb didn't even get that in most years. Huh. And I would say maybe they put him in on like power, when you know, like power runs or even receiving runs. But Byron Austin was the 3-down back the whole time, power, elusive, and receiving. So yeah. D'Angelo Kitchens had a good year, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns. Sheriff almost had 100 yards or 100 receptions, 967 yards, 4 touchdowns. Rayshawn Wynn, 7 touchdowns, 824 yards. Benji Brennan, 779 yards, 5 touchdowns. So yeah, decent job by our receivers. Michael Hayden gave up a lot of sacks, but he brought it down a lot from last year. If you remember, last year he played half the season and had 7 sacks. We ended up having 15 sacks total out of the left tackle position for last year. So this year, playing a full season, he only had 9. So he gave up 2 more sacks than last season, but played twice as much. And overall, we had 6 less sacks from the left tackle. So it's getting better. Defense, Terrence Smith led us in tackles. Actually, Tyler was right there with him, so we're getting good production out of the middle linebackers. Daryl Hodge had 78. Monroe had 73. Perkins had 73 as well. So our linebackers mostly led the team in tackles, though Charleston had 73 as well, along with Hodge, so they still had to do some. Not getting much out of our safeties for tackles. In fact, our third string cornerback had almost as many tackles as our starting safeties, which probably means we had a lot of nickel packages. Daryl Oliver had 42 tackles. Kevin Monroe had 8.5 sacks. Perkins 7.5 sacks. McKay 6.5. So our defensive line obviously didn't provide as much pressure on the quarterback with trading away McKenzie. But I mean, it's a new era on that defensive line, I guess. They'll just have to improve over time. Our linebackers made up some of the sacks, though. We did not force many interceptions this year. I mean, we had quite a few, but not as many as we normally do. Kicking, Whitfield had an okay year. Jeff Parks had a good year punting. And so yeah, that's all for the stats. Let's find out who wins the Super Bowl. Eagles are in it again, but this time it's the Ravens. Oh yeah, the annual awards. Lamar Jackson somehow still playing. Got MVP. And Anthony Lynn, Coach of the Year, which I'm proud of him for, because if you remember at the very first move I made in this entire series was letting Anthony Lynn go. And actually, I guess that wasn't the first move. I let him go after I made all those roster moves, so I lied. But yeah, I let Anthony Lynn go before we even played the first preseason game because I didn't want to ruin his career. Now, granted, we still made the playoffs that year, and took him a little while to recover, but he won Coach of the Year, so I'm happy to see that. In the AFC, looks like Tyler Schwartz was 4th for Offensive Player of the Year, and Terrence Smith was 4th for Defensive Player of the Year. Didn't get Rookie of the Year. Did get Defensive Rookie of the Year, though. Daryl Hodge had a good enough season to get those honors. Byron Austin finished 2nd for Best Running Back. D'Angelo Kitchens got Best Wide Receiver. Yeah. Curious if any of our players, or former players, won any awards here. So Benji Mentor was up there on the list for Best Linebacker. Oscar McKenzie ended up getting Best Defensive Lineman on the 6 and 10 football team, so it's not like he made that big of a difference. Cool. And one thing I want to do before, I guess, scouting and upgrading players. What did we need? Anything? linebackers, right? Actually, I should probably scout some defensive line, I think. All right. Really wish there was some pass coverage guys. Yeah, they're not going to have. Just in case we can't get Parks to re-sign, scout the punters there. Did I scout all the halfbacks? Did? Oh, no I didn't. There we go, now I did. And wide receiver. Oh, I have all the wide receivers. Well, I guess might as well do tight ends then. Alright, upgrade players. Daryl Hodge. Probably got some XP for winning an award. You know what? I gotta give him zone if we're gonna transition to that Tampa 2. Okay. I want to check overall standings. Although I guess I could just do this. Because standings aren't really what I care about. I care about what draft picks we have. So we will have the first round pick, or first overall pick. We ended up getting the third overall pick from Green Bay, and Washington improved to the 8th pick. So we dropped from 1 and 2 to 1 and 3. But we still have that number 1 pick, so it'll be a fun off season. Last order of business before the off season is the Eagles beating the Ravens. Last chance, guys. Might use a franchise tag on you guys. Okay. There. We are officially at the start of season 12. No, the start of season 13 because this was season 12. Still got our playoff streak going. But we have some work to do if we want to get back to the Super Bowl. Anyway, thank you for watching, and tune in tomorrow for season 13. Have a good one.